It was
What's the name? Eddie was about a year older than my brother Edward. And then your father was a year older than your father.
Rolling?
I'm rolling
Jen
now.
on it?
Yeah, just on the edge. That's
No,
better.
push the whole chair over.
No, you are totally out of it, but
I
if
don't
you
want
should
to.
here, it looks like they're talking to the camera.
No, they're gonna be talking.
But they're talking to you.
It's Kay Sidney and his daughter.
Eddie.
And his daughter, Kay Sidney.
Oh, Casey, now he says that Eddie's daughter?
He wants to go to Russia.
Eddie, and my brother's there, Eddie.
Yeah, your brother Eddie's daughter.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I thought you said Eddie Schwartz.
No.
I see.
As far as they didn't have any daughters yet.
Three sons.
Three sons.
Yeah.
All right,
So
Jen.
when you came over in the boat, you took a train up to Springfield, and your father had a house waiting for you.
No.
Yeah, well, we were there. I mean,
Yeah,
he was.
but he didn't have a boat.
He was sitting weighing as a boarder. He was, but we went in there, and the people, by the way, they moved out of there because there were only 2 people, and there were 6 rooms there. So they moved out, and we kept the apartment.
The people that lived in there were supposed to move out.
Yeah.
They got married recently, and they didn't get along. They wanted to separate to the divorce. So
we took over the
yeah,
place.
so when they moved out, we kept.
So who living in the apartment was everyone in this photo, or were there more people or less people?
Everybody here, when Joe came,
Yeah.
did we have our own home then or not?
No.
We didn't have a home yet. We still lived here.
Yeah, we still lived there
Yes.
in the place in that building there.
About a year after,
Was there anyone else who lived with you that wasn't in the photo?
no, just our own family. And then about a year later, or maybe 2 years, then my father bought the house on Calhoun Street.
This guy here was a single guy, but
Yeah.
he liked my sister from
He
before.
lived in Argentina.
Yeah,
He came from
yeah,
Argentina.
yeah.
Is that Harry?
Harry.
Harry.
But
You
then he
live in
came here.
Argentina?
Yeah, he was.
Oh.
Then he came back again, and so he was with us. And
No, you couldn't get into this country,
Yeah.
so he had to go to Argentina. From
Yeah.
Argentina, he came here.
When did he meet Anna? Or where did he meet
well, he
Anna?
met in Europe.
In his town during the war. During the war, we all see that town where he was born was not a railway center. It was in a way it didn't interfere with the war. And where we lived was full of soldiers. And my mother was afraid to leave the children there, so we stood.
Oh, you
the
moved
sub-
during the war.
We moved
I
through.
remember when the boy, there was a lot of soldiers there. They came out at night, open the door, open the door. They come up and rob the Jewish people. So they came in and they couldn't find anything. So they grabbed off the quilt where my Rose was laying there with Anna to cover the quilt. And when they took the quilt away from them, left them without a quilt. Oh, then they were robbing the Jewish people terrible. And there was nobody to complain. There was at the time there was no police on the officers. It was terrible.
Well, they always robbed. The Jews got the money. They robbed some Jews so poor he's from hand to mouth. But the saying is the Jews have money, so they keep looking around and robbing.
So you didn't know any English then when you first got here?
No.
And then did you start to go to school? Was that the first thing you did when you came
Yeah.
here?
Yes.
You know what?
I
I'll
went
tell you
to
a little
school.
story. I got a little story. There was a guy, we were in there, there was this guy, he was a tailor, and he had a son, he was selling papers. He used to get a bunch of papers, go down between the houses. So, but I was here probably about a month. He says, come on, he says, with me, I'll show you how to sell papers. So I remember him, and he was putting papers with it. Then he took me down to the city there and got me a license to sell papers. And everybody had corners there. You couldn't go up to sell a corner. You had to get because everybody had these corners. So he put me in the railway station. He says, there's nobody there. The railway station is going upstairs there, and there's a big where you can go to the into the radio station there. It was,
have to go up
it was like a
stairs.
side door. So I was sitting there installing papers.
And how old were you?
Yeah, well, I was the time I came here with.
About 14.
You came in 1921.
Yes, I was about at the time about 15 years old, probably 14, 15 years old. Now I couldn't understand Russian, English at all. I just was over there only the first week. Now, the trolley car comes by, and I saw people go to the railroad. A woman comes down with goes to the railroad. She sees the railroad is there. She comes to me. She says, "Where's the railroad? Where is the wait a minute?
The station?
Station. I know. I took my license in stations. I say over there. She'll say me, what's this way? I'll never forget it. She told me where's the station. Now what she asked me for? She's right there. She see it. But she said, where's the station? So I said, station, right over there. Because I went to the police department, I took my license. So gives me a look and goes this way. I'll never forget it. That's it. I was only about a week to be
They
there.
can't hear you, not language and stuff. People come and ask you questions. I don't speak English.
How did you learn English? Did you have to have special lessons, or did you go to the high schools here? or-
There was a special school for the immigrants. And
I went to school. We went to school, so there was a hookers. It only was about 4 more weeks before the school starts. So my father says, go to school. So you go down there, and it was the head of the school,
The principal?
the principal, takes him in. He says, can you speak? Can you read a little bit English? Well, I know we studied it. He says, yes, he can. So he comes down there, and he says, I shut a door. He says, I shut a door. He looked at me. No, yes, you did.
I don't remember that.
But he asked me. I could also do it, but I said, no, I can't, that's all. But at that time, I didn't realize what that means. But now I know it. But he said shut, because over here, the U, the E, in Russian is a U. So like shut. But, but like a knee. The U is like a knee in Russian. So he went,
Is that right?
yeah. I'll never forget.
What happened when the 1930s came around and the Depression?
All stuff. But
I made money in papers. I was a hustling. I made a lot. I was making. I made, but I kept my money in a cellar. I got some in the big cans. You know, you buy cans bigger. You always
You were selling newspapers? You
Oh
mean?
yeah, different thing.
I sold newspapers too.
I-
Everybody.
But he made a lot of money.
Yes.
'Cause you-
I
yeah.
was starting in the morning. You know, after I made some money. I bought
My
him some-
father sell papers too?
No. No, he did just come up, but he never did. No, he never. He just
He worked in some.
I bought him a bicycle. He told me me money. I said, I need a bicycle. I'll never forget it. A red one. And I was running to get my papers right early. And so I had a corner early in the morning, and I had a corner at night. Now here's another thing. I can tell you this story. I was sitting there in the Lime Street there. And there was a bank there too. So. A big limousine. At the time it was a Pissarro. Years ago, it was always a glass.
Pissarro.
Pissarro. Years ago, it was a glass between the chauffeur and the people. Used to be a glass. So a woman came up and bought for me paper, and I used to give her right away. So she kept coming to me every morning. She took a liking to me. You know, I always I used to make it nice, you know. And she always used to give me a nickel. Sometimes a dime for paper. That was a lot of money because I had to sell 10 papers to make that dime. So one day she asked me, she says, where are you from? She says, she took a liking to me. She says, where are you from? So I said, she asked me where I'm from. So I said, from Russia. She says, Russia? She says, my husband likes Russia. He's in Russia right now. He's still doing business there. You know, he was a big man, rich people. And he was into Russia at the time, sell stuff to Russia. So she said to me, anytime you want to get a job, come up and see me, I'll get you a job. So I thanked her for it. I already spoke a little, you know, I understood it. But I was selling papers. Then, you know, after I met my wife, and she was sitting there, and she was living there, it was not far from us. I mean, there was a little park there. So when I bought himself a bicycle.
Cologne Street.
Yeah, Cologne Street. Yeah, when I bought himself a bicycle, so I always could get into it. And then she started to talk to me. Then she said I took her for a ride once on a bicycle. That's how it started. So then what
So did you ever go to that woman for a job?
yeah, so I went down there. So then I said to myself, gee, you go and her father didn't like me because I was selling papers. He was a sheikh and he was a very good singer in a synagogue. He says, whom do you go? Look at your boyfriend. He sells papers. What kind of these then? So she told me, and she liked me. She wouldn't live it. So I said to myself, yeah, I got to get myself a job.
Now, how old is she at this time, and you?
Well, she was, my wife is about 2 years younger than I am.
But when you started dating her, how old were you?
No, I wasn't dating, just I took her on the bicycle and it was for a ride all around the corner.
So how old were you when you met her?
About 16 years.
You were 16.
Yeah.
So she's only 14
That's
now.
it. She was
And her
about 14.
father's the cantor, and he
He
said
was
you
a
don't
cantor.
you don't have a good living. You can't.
Well, I mean, she didn't tell me, but he was telling here that, but who go on with he's selling
The
papers,
paperboy,
yeah. So I said to myself, you know, I better get myself a job. So I remind myself, this woman told me I should come to for the job. And in the street where she lived in the park, in Springfield in the park, and she told me the street. I know it's all the rich people there because you know my Uncle Harry was there. So he did rich there. It was all
the
rich
rich
people.
section,
Yeah, rich
sure.
section. So I come in there and I ring the bell, and who opens the door? The same guy opens up the door. So she says to him, "Who is it?" She says, "The Russian boy." When she says the Russian boy, so I got a little feeling because he took me for a Russian. I'm not going to say I'm a Jew. You know, I just kept quiet. But he took me a little bit, took me for a Russian. Then she asked me, what kind of a job do you want? I said, I'll take any kind of a job. So she sits down and calls up the YMCA, the head man, calls somebody, you know, because she says, I'm so and so. She says, I got a good Russian boy. He wants a job. And she mentioned Russian, and whatever, I had a funny feeling.
Yeah.
So he says, yes, I'll send him over here. So he gives me a paper. He tells me where to go. In that factory where we were going, when I was selling papers, all the trolley cars were full. It's a very busy factory there. All them guys there were going to that place there. So, they were working there in that place there. So I come down there. I come to the girl, and she gives me a letter. I come to the girl, and I give her the letter. So she took the letter, and she's surprised that I didn't know that even their name there. They were surprised. So she calls over the men, and to see that men. She told him I should see that man. So the man comes up, and he gives him the paper. He reads it over, and then gives me a paper.
Don't repeat yourself. Come on.
Yeah. And then he looks at me. He says, "Will you please sign this paper, your name?" So I sign the paper. He then says what
Nationality.
church do you belong? So I should have the time have in mind. I would know, but they don't like Jews. I would probably skip it. I would just keep quiet. So I go away and I was the synagogue. So looks at the paper again, and looks again, and looks at me. I say, what the hell is he looking for? Then he then says, "Oh, come back next week." But now he's no job. I went there for 7 weeks. I couldn't get a job, and this was they didn't like the Jews. At the time, they couldn't give me a job, so I had to make my own job. That's what the Jewish people go to always in the business. But I'll never forget it.
So she never was able
No,
to help you?
she come down there and she talked to him again. I told her, you didn't get a job, no? So she says, thank with him, I'll get you. She sent me about 7 different places. I couldn't get a job because I didn't realize that they hated Jews. You know, this is what it was.
So you
Well,
got
let's
your
talk
own job.
about
What?
when I
got
came
your
to
own
job.
Springfield,
Get your own
I was
job.
athletic minded. You know, I always liked to. I was in the wrestling team.
You know, that's, I'll never forget it.
And I
I'll never forget
went
it.
to the YMCA and I said, I want to join the YMCA. The guy says to me, "You're Jewish, aren't you?" You're Ben and Ivan. I said, "Yeah." He says, we don't take no Jewish. So across here from me was Sam Shapiro, but he used to call him Niggy for a nickname. It was dark, and he was a champion handball player. So it says he was across the street from us, on Calhoun Street. You remember Niggy,
Yeah.
Sam Shapiro?
Yeah.
He used to be in the fix your father's teeth. He used to be in the what do you call in
The
the
dental.
dental in the.
Yeah.
Yes. So I told him, I said, "You want to take me in?" So he says, "Come here." So he walked in, that took me with him. He says, "I want this guy to be a member of the synagogue." He was the champion handball player. And everybody knew him. So he took me in, and then I joined the wrestling team. And I used to spend a lot of time in the YMCA. Some people used to go, dancing this, that, and I used to like it, the YMCA, to swim, but I took wrestling up a lot, not boxing. Remember Ornstein?
Honestly, I remember
He was lifting weights.
Mhm.
I used to lift weights for him. He was a nice fellow.
So how did you happen to start working in Hartford?
Well, because in Hartford,
Yeah.
well, when he got into
I'll tell you what, I got to tell the whole story. Him and I in Benny, Nemero, right? We were partners together, going around. Anyway, we came to Hartford to put some machines in here. So I went to a barber shop. He asked him if he wants some machines. He says, yeah, put a machine.
pinball machines.
Pinball machine. So we bring in and he wants to try it. He takes a nickel. I said, no, it's a penny. He said, penny? I don't want a penny. I want a nickel machine. I want a nickel or a dime. So I look at him, in Springfield, he couldn't get the pennies. And here he was.
Well, Hartford was a rich city.
Springfield was an awful town.
So from that day, we went to New York. The time I didn't, him in Benny,
Yeah.
and he bought some machines. Then we went away and we put the machine in a diner. And then next week we came up. Then we used to go back home. A week later we came down to open up the machine. So I go down to open the pick up. He says, the guy says, don't open the machine. He says, go in the back there. So I thought the guy is crazy, he must not be city. And I tried to open it. I couldn't pick the machine up. It was so heavy. So Benny, it was a full. The table was full with dimes. I said, boys, we're going to Springfield. We're going to get an apartment right now. I'm moving to Springfield.
To
And I
Hartford.
did. I went to
To
Hartford.
Hartford. So
And
how
he-
come you didn't take my father with you? He was already in business?
Eddie,
Yeah.
My father, he was already in business in the grocery business.
yeah, he was in business. Yes, yeah.
This
yeah.
is
not
Joe?
Your father was older.
No.
Joe.
Edward.
No.
Edward was older than I am.
Right.
I
So
was next.
he had already gone into the grocery business with
Yeah.
Joe Rohn.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that didn't last too long.
Joe
Joe's a
was
gambler. He take the money from the take from the store. Instead of paying bills, gamble and lose the money.
You used to go down to when you're in the market there. And always when you make gamble, you should have $1. 3 guys. Who's ever
You remember Red Reiner?
Carl? Was that Carl Reiner?
yeah, Gal, yes.
Yeah, Carl Reiner, his father.
Oh, his father.
His father was an awful gambler. And they used to gamble, they used to get together. Your father didn't understand. They used to, one used to take heads and the other one used to take tails. They used to gamble, so he was in the middle. So he lost out. There's
Lost
no
all the
there.
money, yes, lost all
It
the
was
money.
terrible.
So my father left him and went on his own. Opened his own store?
Yes, gee, I don't remember now, to tell you the truth. Yes, he went, then he went to your mother. Your mother helped him. Your mother was a very smart businesswoman. She took care of the business very, very good. Eddie was a very nice fellow, but he didn't approach the customers right. He didn't talk nice, and like a guy comes in, what do you want? Your father's giving you good morning, how are you?
Well, you see, we just came over with cross, you know how it is. You know how it is.
And what's
See,
the name?
people born here don't realize what a country this is.
That's right.
But it's live and learn. That's what it is.
When I came here, I went to school for 1 year. They had a special class in High School of Commerce. And I went there for 1 year and they put me in the 6th grade. And I stood in 6th grade for a whole year. The 6 and 6A, 7B, that's what they call it those days.
Mm-hmm.
And then they put me in Chester School.
Yeah, but you know, they put a teacher there. They were very people. I'll never forget it. She used to speak to us so slow, and looking at the way she speaks to us to teach us English.
Oh yeah.
I'll never forget it.
Very good teachers.
Very good teacher. Just slow. You open her mouth and the way she talked to us.
And
He told us to watch her the way she talks, and she taught us. And
Mrs. Stebbins.
Yeah, Stebbins. That's right. Yeah, he remembers the name. I forgot it. Stebbins. Yeah.
And then.
But then I even sell papers. That's why I learned my English.
I read up in the 6th grade. I went all the way to 6th grade, 6A and 6B. And then I went to the 7A, was it A and then B, is that it? Or B and then A? I forgot it now. Those days, you don't know.
Yeah, I went to school too. They put him in the 7th grade and I couldn't, but the teacher knew about it. She just done it herself, you know. She didn't, she helped me, and it was very
And I
good.
went I skipped 2 semesters, you know what I mean? So I skipped when I first in the semester, I went to the 8th grade instead of going through the whole summer. And then promoted to 9B. You know, what's the name? And the first book they gave me for homework is, oh my God, it's such an important book. They gave you, I peddled papers too at the time, and they used to give you the book for two or 3 days, and then you have to write Mark Twain. And the book is A Tale of Two Cities. That was a tall book. And I had to peddle papers. I come home, I was tired, asleep, and I couldn't do the homework. He said, the principal, I couldn't explain myself. So the principal says to me, I want to stop school. He says, you're just like finding a $10 bill and now you're on your way. You just, see, up till the 9th grade is very easy. Arithmetic is just common sense. That's all anybody. But after the 9th grade, here it's called, it's high school already. But in Springfield, you still study it at this
junior high.
Junior high, and I didn't have time to study. So I had to drop out of school. So my schooling was.
Your sisters went. They continued, or did they all?
No,
did they stop to go to work too?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, older than me.
Anna worked?
Yeah.
The Rose didn't work, but Anna worked.
Anna did, and Lena.
Who's this?
This is like, I don't know.
Let me see it.
This may be some relative of, what's the name?
I don't know either.
Well, that's from your house, those pictures.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. He's some relative who knows so many years ago. I don't know.
What time does Nellie come home?
I don't know. Oh, yeah, I know. Now I recognize. This is Sam. His name is Sam, the first name.
Oh, I have one picture.
In May. They're related to my, to Nellie's, her mother. And her mother and my Nellie's mother were sisters.
Uncle Irving, you gave me this picture once, but I didn't know who the other people were. One of them is Sam Gold, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's Sam Gold. I'll never forget it.
And who is
This is
Dave Schwarzenegger.
Tommy.
You're going to be out of the camera though. Sit down and show it to Uncle Harold.
Tommy, myself, and Sam Gold, and in Sydney we were then.
You want this?
Let's see.
Write those names down, John, and I'll write them on the back later.
That's you right here.
Yeah.
And that's Tommy.
Tommy who?
Tommy
A
Perashinsky.
friend of mine.
Oh.
Perashinsky, yeah. He's already
And that's
gone.
Sam Gold. And who's this guy?
His cousin, what's the name?
Oh, what's the name? No, it's not his cousin.
No?
You mean Schlafferman?
Yeah.
No, it's
No.
not.
Somebody else.
Schlafferman was smaller than him. He's a guy, I think, from Worcester, was friendly with you. Boy, Tommy was a handsome fellow, remember? He became all bald, just like very bald.
Yeah, Tommy became bald. The whole family.
And he passed away, and they tell me he died of Sam Gold. Do you remember him?
Oh, he had Alzheimer's. I
No,
think. Oh, his
no.
wife did. His wife had Alzheimer's.
He had an awful case of cancer.
Yeah.
They tell me he suffered something awful.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
so-
see his sons still live in Long Meadow. His two sons. One's a
son.
lawyer,
Yeah, one is a lawyer. I never met his children.
but one of the sons' wife is very ill with cancer.
Who is that?
His son's wife.
Is that right?
John, do we get clear on,
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Is that in
Max's
family? It goes in the
brothers and
family
sisters
sometimes, or
who
what?
stayed?
No.
Cancer?
Yeah.
Well, cancer
Which
is, it
relatives were
strikes,
left?
it's gonna strike 1 out of 4 people.
Which
Because
of the
there's so
brothers and
many
sisters came
forms
over?
of
And
cancer.
and was
You know,
Mackler
it's
the
that or
lead
heart
patrolling they used in
condition or
Russia?
something,
Or
you know.
did it change?
Well,
when
I
they-
ate your
Tommy's the
orange.
one, Tommy's the one on
But
the,
next time you better buy better oranges.
Yeah, that's
well,
Tommy, yeah.
that's Tommy.
Yeah, yeah. My friend, always be together.
Remember him?
Yeah.
Is he still alive or not?
No,
Tommy?
he died. He
Because I
died.
know there's still Parashinsky's in,
Yeah.
in Springfield.
Yeah, like,
Because you want to get close up, so you want to.
So how did you get into the vending business?
You have to unlock it and.
I thought, well,
Ben's brother,
yeah.
Ben had a brother here.
I told you, yes, Ben's brother was in business. He was the first
He was-
one.
Yeah, he got into the business somehow, and Ben watched him, and he then had some money, so he said, "Let's go." So went to New York. We bought machines, and we started the business. The three of
We
us.
bought penny machine that time, penny machines.
And then you moved to Hartford. You
Yeah.
took an apartment together?
Well, he was a boy in my house. Yeah. And Benny was with his mother then.
And you were both still single, and then you met
No,
Nellie.
I was already married.
Oh, you were already
already
married.
married.
Oh, Nellie, I met here in Hartford.
And then you separated your business.
Well, we were together for quite a while.
Well, that's
And I tell you, the way I didn't, Benny was always holding me back again. He was always had to come up and get he was always kind of slow. I don't know. He held me back again. I just
Yeah.
couldn't.
Well, you
couldn't-
were an entrepreneur.
Yeah, so I,
You
just,
were a
I said,
hustler.
I told him, so he said he won't go with Benny because he was always business, with his friends. So I said, I'll go for myself, and I went out and I got my own business.
In the vending,
Yeah, vending
with
business.
just like pinball machines. But then you got into the food vending business, right?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, sure.
From to Bell Amusement. I mean, that's what you have now, but it's food. isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah. Before the business, we went into the machines.
You after that you got into soda and
Yeah.
what do you call
Yeah,
coffee.
forget about it. So many years, I forget about it.
I'm a little bit confused because when I'm watching the camera, I'm not always paying attention,
Yeah.
and I just want to backtrack a little bit. This is a family tree that I did back in high school a long time ago, and all I have is Max, your parents.
Yes.
Okay, now you said before that Max had a brother Willie, Harry, Morris, and a sister Mary.
Yeah.
Mary and one sister, another sister. Roughly has also a sister.
So what's
Who?
her name in English?
In English, who I think knows?
Was it Rose? Rachelea?
No, Rachelea they call her.
But all right.
How would you spell Rachelea?
Well, I don't know myself.
Well, I'll tell you what, Rachelea means, like in the Bible, she's named, let's see, what's the name of the four mothers?
You mean in the Bible?
What?
Rachel
Rachel.
or Rebecca?
Oh, Rachel.
Rachel. But they always called her Rachelea.
Yeah, that's a Jewish name.
So out of
She was named for two people, Rachel Leah.
Oh, I see.
That's what it is. You know, if you lose someone, you always Rachel Leah.
now out of your parents and Willie, Harry, Morris, Mary, and Rachelea,
Yeah.
your parents came over, and who else came here and who stayed in Russia?
One of my, one
The
of my
first one that
uncles-
came over was, the first one that came over here
He's William, I think, William Mackler.
is,
Is
no,
he-
what's Rochlia was first. She was married to Silver. Mary Silver came here first.
Mary came first.
She
that's
came with her
right.
husband, yeah.
And the reason they came to the United States is because
Used to-
they had
used to
no-
be a
when
fruit
you had to go
peddler.
in the Russian army. You always go in the Russian army for 4
And
years.
then,
Or somebody to keep you 6
and then
years.
came,
So that's why they always used to go run away to Russia.
John
you see,
Billy Mackler
to the
came here.
United States.
So what happened to Willie Mackler and his family?
They're all settled in Springfield.
They were in Springfield, they lived in Springfield all their
I
lives.
still have cousins here, his children. They're Macklers, but they're like second cousins to me.
So do you know who
Oh,
that
yeah.
line?
Well, so I don't remember all their names, but sure.
Is that the original name?
Was Mackler your name in
Yeah.
Ukraine?
Yeah.
Not changed.
Yeah, not just.
Mackler, the Jews came, is settled from Spain into Germany, in Mainz, our grandfather. And then,
Well, in Russia, they used to give you the name, whatever you used to
Mackler,
do.
definition Mackler means agent, a
Agent.
businessman.
So probably somebody was an agent, so they called him.
They used to give you names according
That was
to
the
the kind of
name,
work
what you did.
did.
I don't know, agent?
An agent sells homes.
A Mackler, you know what a Mackler is? For instance, if your guy wants to buy a house, and so you would like a Mackler, you come to get him
No,
together.
it's an agent.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
But in Russian, it's Mackler. You see it? He's a Mackler. So you sell things.
Mackler's a German name.
Yeah.
German means Mackler means you buy and sell. You know,
That's how the
you
name comes from.
introduce people to. Let's see, you know, some guys want to buy a farm or something, and you know some peasant wants to sell it. You get them together and you get a commission. That's Mackler.
All right, so Max came over, Willie came over, Mary came over.
Yes.
What about Harry Morris and Rachelea?
They all came over here.
They all came, nobody,
Rachelea came
After us.
after us. She was here, but those that they didn't come all together.
But they all came to Springfield.
eventually, they all
Yeah.
See,
came.
one came and took the other ones out. It was like, I think William was the first one to be here, I think, and he took out Harry, they took out Morris. Yeah, that's right, how it is.
Now, what was your grandparents? You said you don't remember Max's parents, but Fanny's parents, what were
My
his
father's,
names?
that's my mother's. I
Right.
I remember my grandfather. He was a tall man, 6-footer, and
What was his name?
Joseph.
Joseph
Joseph
Joseph.
Vorona.
Joseph Vorona, yeah.
And your grandmother?
Well, in Europe, what was her name? I forgot.
I don't remember either.
I
No.
don't remember
Don't know.
her name.
Okay. So they all came.
Yeah.
See, I have this. Now you know everybody on here because this is only your parents. It doesn't have Max's, your aunts and uncles on here.
Yeah.
So you have Rose and Anna and Lena, Irving, Harold, and Edward. And then it
Yeah.
goes down from there. Of course, this is 10 years old, so there's a lot more grandchildren down here
Oh,
than,
sure.
than I have. Okay. Where else are we?
She knows all my grandchildren better than I do.
Well, I don't know all their names.
And you woke me up. I couldn't even talk. Do you remember? I came
Well,
in?
you were talking, but it was just
My
hard
God,
for you to.
I couldn't tell her my name. Can you imagine? You know, it's a good thing she rang the bell and woke me up. I was gonna coma.
Okay, let's talk about Edward.
My older brother. Eddie.
Right. So he was older.
The
and then
oldest one of the family was my sister Rose. She was the oldest.
Rose. And she, let's see, let me take a look. She married Irving Zlatkin, right? Oh no, she married Joseph Rowe. I'm looking at another
Yeah.
person.
The other
She
from.
married Joseph. Oh, right.
And Anna married Harry
And
Chizinski,
you know, and George
Right.
is going to have a baby,
the second baby.
second baby.
Yeah.
George.
George Jasinski.
You married
Jasinski.
Rose Lock.
You know, he's in his 60s and he's going to
Sure.
have a baby. 62. He's going to be a
So-
father.
So how old is the daughter, his wife?
His wife is
She's-
45.
And she had a baby yet?
She had one when she was 39, and she'll have another. She's 45.
That's so.
Yeah.
Very seldom you see a person over 40 to have a baby.
But now it's becoming more common.
Is that right?
Yeah. Well, they got married. She was 38, so 37, 38. But he's excited.
What's your girlfriend's name? I forgot.
Debbie.
Debbie.
Debbie Ellen.
Debbie
And her family, her father's family is from Hungary.
Hungary. The Hungary Jews had a better education than the Russian Jews.
Yeah.
More educated.
Is it?
How come?
They were
I don't
from
know.
Probably
Hungary.
treated
Yeah.
better than the Russian Jews, maybe.
All right, let's talk about older brother
Well,
Eddie.
in Russia, you know, you always used to, the boys used to go to school to teach us how to down. It's very important to go to show. The girls, they never teach the girls. But the boys were always important to bring a teacher there and teach us. You know.
But the girls still went to school.
They went to but they didn't teach them Hebrew. They taught them Yiddish. Yiddish and Hebrew is much different. The letters are the same, but an aleph acts as an a and also for o. I mean, for like
In
you say,
Hebrew.
in Hebrew, yeah.
Yeah.
No, in Yiddish. In Yiddish, for instance, like my name is Aaron, so here they call me Harold. But my real name is Aaron. Is aleph, ah, nin, aleph, resh, nin. Run.
All right, now you just said that your real name is Aaron.
That's right.
Well,
But if you put Aaron on, they won't know because
I never knew that.
they always call me Harold.
Harold.
In Hebrew, it's Aaron.
Aaron.
So what were the other real names?
But was Edward?
It's like my name is
No,
Is Israel.
Edward is Yechiel.
Hebrew is
In
Yitzchak.
Hebrew, it's Yechiel.
Oh,
Yeah.
But you better write in Hebrew.
No, but when you were in Russia, what did your parents call you?
Aaron.
Aaron. And you?
Yitzchak. Yitzchak.
It's Yitzchak, but right.
Hebrew is Yitzchak.
Yitzchak. Hey, it's a nice name.
Yeah, they're the same. So find out about your grandfather because it's getting late, Daniel.
No, it's not too late. But let's just get the rest of the children.
I didn't even know her. My wife, she's home.
What time is she coming home?
I don't know. She ran away. I don't remember.
She'll figure you
What did
must
he
be
just
here
say
in
Edward's
an hour.
name was?
Edward.
No, he said it was different.
In
What?
In Russia,
Edward. What was
what was
his
he
name?
called?
My brother?
Yeah. Michael?
Yechiel.
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 I don't know. How to,
It's in Jewish too.
Yeah.
But
Well, just the way it sounds.
But,
it's
but,
right
but
in
the
Edward.
Russian people call him Yechiel.
and the sisters?
Now Rose was
Rachel.
Rachel.
And then Anna.
Anna's Chana.
Chana.
Yeah.
C-H-A-N-A.
Yeah.
And Lena?
Lena Leah.
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 Do you remember my grandparents? My mother's
Yes.
parents?
Your father too, I remember. I mean, your
You
grandfather.
told me, I still forget who it was, what you were talking about.
You know, Evelyn's Libby Lebowitz and Harry Lebowitz. Do you remember my
Sure.
mother's
Yeah, you sure.
parents
Here in the
in
United
this
States?
country?
Yeah.
You remember them?
Labor
Not in the old, in Springfield, not in the old
Springfield.
country. Yeah, sure. I remember that.
Anything else, Daniel, you want to ask them?
I want to hear more about Edward. When he came,
What did
you
say?
came over together, or
Yes,
together.
together.
so on that boat ride, it was
Oh,
Irving, Harold, just all the children came together.
Yeah.
Children.
All six.
Yeah. Not Rose, because
No,
I was already married.
Right. She had come over before.
Yeah,
Later.
after.
Oh, after.
Yeah,
After, because she was married already, as it was a different name, Mackler. She had to wait for the visa.
Right. So you came over with your mother.
Yeah.
So it's the mother and 5 kids.
Yeah.
And you got sick.
Yeah, that's things.
Did my father sell insurance?
Your
Before the
father-
grocery business, wasn't he
Yeah,
selling
oh,
insurance?
yes. He worked, I think, for
Metropolitan?
Eddie.
maybe, I think it's
Yeah, he was
Metropolitan.
selling insurance. Yeah. Then I forgot about insurance. I said he was selling insurance. I forgot about.
And then
it.
he went to the grocery business.
Then he got sick though. But he was sick. But he was in the hospital. He was.
Oh, Eddie, no. I remember Eddie being sick.
Eddie?
When was he sick?
He was in the hospital.
No.
Of course, he was sick. He was.
What was wrong with him?
What?
He had
What
a
was
stroke.
wrong?
He had a stroke.
A stroke.
Eddie?
that's
No,
Joe.
you're
That was-
mistaken.
Just, who was
No.
it?
Joe. I think Joe was sick. Joe had
Joe
Joe
Rome. Don't you remember he got sick? He had to Boston to operate
he
on
had a
his...
brain tumor, didn't he? Or
Yes.
something? Yeah, that was
But Eddie
diagnosed.
also got sick, and he was in. He was sick. How did when he died? How?
Oh, when he died, it was from
Oh,
a
the
stroke.
sick,
That's what I mean.
Oh,
yeah.
no,
We're
that's
talking
what I
about
mean.
when he was single.
Yeah.
What did you do for a living after you sold papers?
No, he went to the vending machine.
Yeah, vending machine.
Um,
So I was selling papers and making a lot of money. And I kept the money in the cellar, in little cans, in all silver. And I'll never forget, after my father bought that house there.
he what the house?
He bought a house, my
Oh.
father. So I went out there and gave him the money. It was about $700 in there in silver. About $700 I saved up in, half a dollars, quarters, dimes, nickels. I had some
I
cans
know that.
full in the cellar. And I told my mother, don't let anybody in the cellar, and any strangers to go in the cellar. Because, you could go in there, it's always there near a wall. Then after he sold for the house I gave him, it was about $700 there.
It was a lot of money.
Yeah.
And then I bet from the vending machine you used to put all the coins in the cellar.
No.
Why didn't you put it in the bank?
Well, it was I was selling paper, so I kept I didn't put in the
He
bank.
didn't have reason to put it in the
You know,
bank. He kept it, everybody kept money
Because
home.
I used to give it to my father. But then I figured I'll see that as long as they get along without then my money, so they needed to could have it. But I mean, so I just kept it there, and I filled up seven cans of money.
Wow.
Will you please call up my wife? Then
Tell her you're here.
Yeah, in case she answers.
Now,
Something on the floor, you can.
What's my telephone? You remember my telephone?
when did it?
But
232. What's his phone
Nine-
number?
oh,
Two-
it's
two- three, two,
9057.
When the Depression hit and the stock market crashed, and then I guess about until the war,
yeah.
it was bad times. So because you didn't put your money in the bank, did that help you out a lot, or I mean, how?
No, at the time I didn't put the money in the bank. I just because I just saved the money for myself there. I mean, not for myself, like for my father, but I kept it in.
But if you had it in the bank,
Yeah.
would you have lost all that money?
Oh,
Would it
Oh,
been
you
gone?
mean that bank, some banks filled it out because there's no insurance on it. But
yeah.
but you took it out before some
yeah.
failed.
So
No answer
Not
yet?
home yet.
Okay,
so when the Depression hit, you weren't hit as bad as other families.
that's right.
Well, because they didn't have that much money probably to begin with, so it wasn't like they owned a lot of stock in the stock market.
So in 1930, I guess you were married already.
Well, I had stock. I always in the market.
Oh,
I
Did
had
you lose a
stock.
lot of money in
Yeah.
the crash of
In the
29?
in the 29.
No,
No, I didn't. I bought good stock in.
whatever you had, you didn't buy the stock. In those days, you needed the money to expand your business.
But I didn't lose my vacation. Probably a couple of them. I think I remember. But I just thought it was good. But my stock was good. I got good.
You still have a lot of stock?
Oh
Uncle
yes,
Irving? You
yes,
still-
yeah.
Because it's not doing so great now.
It was good.
I mean, the banks.
He
did you have
claims
any
he's got
bank
good.
stock?
Claims he got
No,
good
it
stock.
was good.
I
It was
bought
good.
Travelers.
Yeah.
I think I paid $100 a share.
Well, Charles is gone. I get Charles is also.
You see
Yes.
the fly here?
Yes,
Yeah.
all right. But Charles is
He doesn't need much.
It'll come back. It's got to come back again. I got some Charles too. I got 700 shares. It isn't worth much. It isn't worth
What's the
much now.
matter?
I don't like that.
You like it?
I can't. I have a very hard time killing bugs.
Do? I didn't know that.
You know, sometimes I kill a fly too. But then I see only. So I said she only wants. She wants to eat hungry. So I said, come up and put a little shoe in the morning. Go up and eat it. But she doesn't. But I decided, then I used to let the chicken go away to climb out the flies there. I couldn't kill her.
Couldn't kill it.
Yeah. I used to kill her one baby. I said, she just was flying around here, you kill her. And one night she felt bad. I said, I'm not going to kill her anymore. Because there's no flies in here, but like one comes in sometimes. I said,
Just a
let her
little
kill her.
visitor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, did you cover all of your questions?
Do you remember when you first met my grandmother, Evelyn?
Sure, I remember.
And what was that like? Where you met her up in
Not-
Springfield?
Springfield,
Yes,
yeah.
but Harold, it was Eddie's,
Edith, yeah.
yeah, he married her.
So who was married first
He was
of the three
Yeah,
brothers?
I was
He was.
married first, I think.
Then was Edward, and then was I.
Okay.
And you had a wedding, a big wedding, but my father didn't have a big wedding, did he? I don't mean a big wedding, but I mean you have formal pictures.
I didn't even
taken.
go to father's wedding.
Why not?
Why? Because I was on the wrestling team in the YMCA, and I had to meet with the wrestlers. I tried to come in and make it, I couldn't make it, and I couldn't even tell the guys. I didn't know what a wedding is. They were talking about it on Telsig. So I had to go to I was at a team, a wrestling team, and so I couldn't make the wedding.
Just the wedding, okay.
Now, in terms of education, there was three brothers and three sisters? Now, did all three brothers, did you all graduate high school and then that was it, or did...
No,
No.
Harold
I told you I
dropped out.
couldn't.
They,
I remember you said after 9th grade.
But right.
But but when I was in the, see, they put us in the first with with everybody there, but
They
next
saved
semester
them
they put in a high school special class for come-overs. So there was Greeks, and there was Chinamen, there was a lot of Jewish boys. You know, he had one sister, one teacher, and her name was Mrs. Stebbins.
Stebbins.
She speaks so nice with the mouth open, you know, so she teach you how to talk with the mouth open so slow. I'll never forget it.
Now, what languages did she speak? Because she couldn't speak all those languages.
No, she spoke English only.
Just English.
But she spoke very.
Well,
She'll
we
take
all-
for instance an apple. This is an apple.
Yeah, but you see, I picked up very fast because I was selling papers. That's why I picked up.
Was my father in the class with you?
Yes. Then he
in the
went.
same
Then went to Chestnut Street School.
But how about the sisters? They all went to high school? Well, Rose she came over later and she already
Yeah,
had two children when she came over.
One child, she had.
Anna didn't go to school either.
Oh, wow.
They picked up afterwards by themselves. They picked it up.
Yes.
But Lena went through high school.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
She
yeah,
was the youngest.
yeah.
Do you still speak Yiddish to each other?
No,
I speak Yiddish fluently.
if you don't speak to each other, you always you use English all the time. English.
I remember when I used to help my father in the Brightwood market, he would, when he had to add up a list of groceries, he would add it up in Russian or Yiddish. I could hear him
Yiddish,
saying
Yiddish.
counting
Yeah.
in Yiddish, not in
Yeah.
English.
Yeah.
Very fast.
Do you want them to point out?
No, we already got that.
Say,
So my father
you don't
chased
speak
my
Yiddish,
mother.
do you?
He went after my mother, right?
Yes.
Was that his first girlfriend?
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
well.
yeah.
I think he really had to chase her. I don't think she was too anxious, was she?
I don't know.
I don't know. I think something was.
I think your mother liked Eddie.
Put your head up to
Well,
the
I hope
speaker
so.
and tell me if you can hear it.
But I guess, I don't know, she must have dated other boys. But she was his only girlfriend, huh?
I don't think she dated any
No,
other
that's true.
boyfriends.
You know, this may seem like a silly question, but why? I guess it is.
Go
I
ahead,
mean,
go ahead,
you're
yes, yes.
now Max came over first, and then he came over so that he could start a better life, or just to send money, and he wanted to come back.
He wanted him
Yes,
back.
yeah, because
But the war came, and he's
yes,
The
you know,
war
we had a
broke
big home, and then we had a big factory where we make oil. You know, it was on horses.
There's a
But-
special oil they used to make.
Make oil.
Oh, it does smell beautiful. When they squeeze it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
there's
Out of what?
The certain seed. What's
Oh,
the name?
vegetable, it was a vegetable.
Vegetables,
oil.
yeah, very nice.
Yes, boy, smells so beautiful.
You should be put on a bread and eat. You see, yes, that was a good.
You mean
good
he only came here just to visit, not thinking he would someday bring everybody over?
No,
was just
he came to
visiting.
visit. If he wants some make some lots any more money, I
More
guess.
money and then go
Well,
back and stay there.
Well, it wasn't.
Yes.
I suppose when it came in, it was very hot at the time. They didn't pay too much either, because over there they thought there's money on the street here.
No, they couldn't come back. Everything was destroyed.
Yeah.
But who did he stay with? Did he have relatives here? His sister was here?
Well, his sister Mary was there, and then he boarded with different people. Everybody had borders then. He came here.
As boarders.
Every house had a border. There was a lot of husbands came here to earn money, go back and this, and they got stuck here. And during the revolution, nobody even wanted to go back.
Now, how long after he came over did your mother sell the mill?
Soon we heard from him.
Okay, how long did he came over here, and how long was it before he knew that he wasn't going to be able to go back?
Well, I think about 3 years later, we sold it. About 3 years later. About 3 years later, we sold it. Yeah.
Now, did you have to go into the service in the United States after you?
I skipped it. I was underage. On the Second World War, I had to go to factory.
But you didn't have to enlist. You weren't
No,
drafted.
I was drafted.
You were drafted.
So he told me either go to the factory, I have to go.
Or you'll
And
be
I was
drafted.
pretty handy mechanically, because I was on the pinball machine business already, and I was, so they put me on, in the place where they test machine guns and Colts. You heard of Colts manufacturing, aren't you?
They did not say
In
they
Hartford.
didn't about it because I was.
Yeah.
Oh, the Colt, sure.
Yeah.
I was
Samuel
young,
Colt,
a kid at the
the
time.
guns.
You
Yes.
were exempted.
So I worked there, and I think I became deaf then. I didn't, they used to test the guns in test room.
Must be loud.
Oh, it was a lot. So finally they give you some rubber plugs. It's not good. So then I found out I took cotton, inverted, and stuck it in, so it was way better. I think I became a little deaf. Since then I'm always hard hearing.
Was your father in the service?
No, my father wasn't in the service either.
No,
No.
No.
Because after 36, they didn't draft.
Well, if you were too young, you said you were too young, then you must have been about the right
But
age.
he was married and had a child,
Yeah.
so
Oh.
Yeah.
he didn't take them.
Yes, I said to myself, gee, this is a good country. I'm telling that time, because in Russia there was just, they don't care how many children you just go.
That's
But
right.
every year you had a child, you didn't take you.
Well, they didn't.
Even if need people bad, they'll take you, I suppose. But somehow they.
A lot of people joined up. What's the name? The Jewish people naturally knew how to make their own business. They were doing pretty well. But they had to, I had to give up the pinball business, neglected because I had to go to factory to work. So after I came out, you have to give them service. Machines go out of order. You got to so you got to take care of it. And a lot of them, some we lost because pretty we had places that were romantic and some places like.
He was a mechanic. He fixed the machines pretty good. But I learned myself to fix the machines. Fix them, you learn.
Ben Emerald, he had two left hands. Oh my God, he was nothing. One time I came in there, and it's getting late, and he couldn't fix machines. I came in there, my God, I said, "What'd you do?" he didn't know one wall wire to another, work on electricity.
Is he the one he died and his wife married somebody back in Long Meadow?
No.
Your partner, wasn't it a partner of yours?
Yeah.
Which one does she mean?
Somebody, I thought you had a partner and then he died or you split up and his widow came to Springfield and married a Feinstein?
I don't remember that.
I don't remember that. I don't know.
No.
There's only three partners of us. We were all.
Yeah, he never, I didn't have partner, no. There were three of us.
Oh, and it wasn't,
No.
it was somebody else whose widow, you were in business somehow with the husband and he died and she married somebody in Long Meadow by the name of
I
Feinstein.
don't remember.
No.
I have a question. You said that after you left your town in Russia, and then you had never seen a black person before.
Never. Never.
What other things when you got out of your village, and then even when you came over to America, when you saw some things, what did you see that you couldn't believe? It's like,
you know something? When I came to this country, I was very much disappointed. You take the city of Warsaw. This city was so beautiful. For instance, like over here, you got those markets now. What is, what do you
It
call
was
markets?
beautiful, but I tell you, they had one bad place there. The system for the toilets is not very, very
toilets
bad. You know, they have like a big apartment.
Like you take a mall here,
There's
they got
about
malls.
30,
We saw malls in Warsaw, so beautiful. You walk into
one place to go,
to a place probably,
a place like a garage.
let's say maybe 2-3 blocks long. You buy, you want to buy, you say you want to come in and buy fish, swims in big pools. The guy says, which one you want? And that they can have here. They didn't have it in Springfield.
They haven't got
Springfield was a small town.
over here, United
Well,
States.
it's so small. Springfield was the largest city in Massachusetts. It still is, next to Boston.
Worcester, I think, is bigger.
No.
Worcester and Springfield, they're very close.
Springfield is larger than Worcester.
They're very, very close. They back and forth. One is bigger than one is smaller.
Well,
They're
right
very
now I know.
similar in size.
No, you didn't. I guess in Russia you had no indoor plumbing
No.
then. So you went around to Warsaw, and then you ended up in Belgium.
Yeah, well, we stood in Warsaw pretty near a year, I think.
Well, about 8 months, I think.
8 months?
Yeah, but you see, the mothers and kids, they were first to go. So when they came out, so we went to Belgium, I think, because it was
They had
hard.
a stay in Belgium, 18 days they had to stay there for quarantine.
Yeah, I think so. I just say you forget about it, you forget about it, yeah.
So we better wrap it up, Daniel.
Okay. Anything special you want to say to future generations of Macklers out there?
Yeah, they are.
You put in the United States is the best country in the world. That's all I can tell you. There's nothing like the United States.
Europe is a graveyard for the Jews. Every country discriminated. And here, there's also plenty of anti-Semitism, but will get more Americanized and more assimilated, and that's what it is.
Have you been back to Europe ever since you came over? You never went back.
I always thought I should to go down there, but things happen. I can. And now I'm all by myself. Probably if I don't know. I was talking today to somebody to take a ride to Russia, but you won't find anybody there. I have the barber there. I took a haircut there, so he took a ride to Russia, and he says he went with his wife. Now he wants to go again, but his wife doesn't want to go with him because she wants to go somewhere in all of a sudden she wants to go in. There's no toilet there. She go down behind the tree.
Even now?
No, but they say yes. There's no. I suppose now they some people with money they do it, they have it.
Listen, we
But
came
over
here,
the system's already
even in this country, they didn't have refrigerators yet, and they didn't have electric. Most of the people have gas light, not electric.
No,
Springfield and Hartford.
Yes, yeah.
Do you remember your first television set?
Television
I never
set, yes.
My father never saw television. My mother. But we had everybody.
Well, I remember when we first got a TV set. When my parents got a TV set.
Sure.
I remember when Joseph bought to play the phonographs. So I was there about half a night to listen to the phonograph playing.
Joe Rohn?
What?
Phonograph.
Phonograph to play phonograph.
Yeah.
I'm now there. I sit for half a night, for half a day. I want half a night. I want to sit to the place.
And that was the wind up, I bet. You had to wind it up.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
That should be right, yeah. Yes,
Oh,
I think so, yeah.
yes,
It was
that's
one.
not allowed, sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank
Well,
you
I
very
think so.
much.
Does Irving have any? Uncle Irving have any old
Well, he
photographs?
doesn't know where they are.
Right.
It's old photographs, Uncle Irving. I know you used to have them. 'cause
He used
you
to have
gave me
them,
some.
he doesn't know because he never took it.
All right.
Let's see.
I tell you, I must find him someday. Probably I'll find him.
Because one time I came here and we went through a lot of them. You gave me
That's all right.
some. Yeah.
So probably I got him.
Yeah.
If I find him, I'll keep him, and I'll let you know about it.
Okay.
He
I'm gonna
was
put
big,
this
right?
in Long Meadow.
Long
Yeah.
Meadow, oh, Long Meadow, sure.